Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the top 5 best portrait lens for Nikon. Starting at number 5. Nikon 50mm f1.8D. Not only is it as cheap as chips, it's also super lightweight and compact too. Check out all the raving reviews on Amazon for this lens. Those who have recently upgraded to a Nikon DSLR from a smaller compact camera are sometimes a bit anxious about the weight of their new camera. As such, the featherlight Nikon 50mm f1.8D is the perfect complement. The image quality out of this impressive Nikon lens is nothing short of incredible, especially when you consider its price. It's the sharpest lens I own, and its focus speed is also the fastest. Due in part to its small size weight, the Nikon 50mm f1.8D focuses almost instantly. For that reason, I use it on the dance floor at weddings when I need to capture fast-moving subjects in less than desirable light. The 50mm focal length is also perfect to give dancers a bit of room, but still make the viewer feel involved in the final photograph. The beauty of the Nikon 50mm f1.8D is that it can be used on both a full-frame and cropped sensor Nikon DSLR. On a Nikon DX camera, the focal length will be approximately 75mm, meaning the Nikon 50mm f1.8D becomes a flattering portrait lens. Whilst it's not the top lens for portraits, it can still trade punches with the big boys. For more information and latest price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. At number 4. Nikon Nikon 35mm f1.4G. Another prime lens in this list, and this time it is one with a fixed focal length of 35mm. Canon also has its own 35mm version with a similar aperture. There are some departments where this lens beats its counterpart from Canon and some departments where it falls short. For instance, one of the best things about this lens is the versatility it offers. Though even Canon's version is capable of working under different conditions, the quality of images obtained in a different genre of photography isn't up to the mark. On the other hand, Nikon's version produces just as good as any other special lenses that are designed for a particular type of photography. The aperture can vary from f1.4 to right up to f16 without any stops, with the angle of view of 63 degrees, which provides a lot of room for experimentation. The size of the lens could be a big concern for some people because, for a prime lens, it is huge. Usually, prime lenses are compact and their weight is considerably low, but in this lens it is the opposite. The weight isn't really that problematic issue because it is within the limits, but it's the size that can bother. The exterior is well built and has good strength to it. It is preliminarily plastic, but the design has made it workable in different situations. Ergonomics too are well taken care of with ease of access to controls. Halfway of my listed number 3. Nikon Nikon 28mm f1.4e. And the last lens from Nikon in this list of best lenses for portrait photography is Nikon's own 28mm f1.4e ED lens. The focal length of 28mm holds a classic status, and photographers from all over the globe just love it. It is popular among both amateurs and professionals. The focal length just lies right in the middle, which is why it is the first choice for most of the photographers. Nikon has done a pretty good job in producing its own version of 28mm, and it is probably the best one among all lens manufacturing companies. With some of the most staggering features, this lens is one of the best when it comes to portrait photography. The lens is optically balanced. You will find that there are 14 elements that are divided into 11 groups. The ED in the name indicates that there are extra low dispersion elements present within the lens. In fact, there are 2 of them. The specific purpose of this element is to reduce ghosts and flare, and practically they perform their job brilliantly. Along with this, there are 3 aspherical elements as well for optical enhancement of the image. The aperture consists of 9-bladed diaphragm which produces beautiful bokeh. Coming in at number 2. Nikon 70-200mm f2.8G VR2. We originally planned on including the 70-200mm version of Canon in the list, but the 70-200mm version of Nikon was found slightly better, hence it made the list. So this right here is a zoom feature from Nikon, which is one of the best in the market at the moment for portrait photography. It has almost the same features as Canon 24 to 70mm, except for the focal length and vibration reduction technology. So let's take a look at different things that set it apart from Canon's 70 to 200mm and eventually make it a special lens for portrait photography. Usually, lenses of such caliber have good build quality, but this lens right here takes that to a whole new level. I mean, it doesn't even feel like a lens at some point, it feels like you are carrying some finely crafted top-grade equipment along with you. The lens is very costly, and you can see the reason when you put your eyes on the lens. As a primary feature for a zoom lens, the lens is dust-proof and waterproof, but to be honest, proofing in this is not the best. From a technical standpoint, the lens is pretty neat. Sharpness is some of the best you will see, heck I would go on and say that sharpness obtained in this is best among the lenses of this range. And number 1. Nikon 85mm f1.4G. So that was all about Canon, now let's take a look at some of the best lenses for portrait photography by Nikon. Just like Canon, Nikon is also famous for endlessly manufacturing top-quality lenses, and portrait photography is one of their strongest domains. The very first one from Nikon is a lens with 85mm of focal length and an aperture of f1.4. We've already seen a lens with 85mm in the list, but it was from Canon, and it had a different aperture. But since focal lengths are the same, there will be some similarities, but obvious differences will be there as well. Since we are keeping the shtick of portrait photography in mind, we must not forget that usually shots are taken at low light conditions, that's why the aperture plays a very important role within the lens. Nikon has put a lot of marketing efforts over its nano coating, and this nano coating is also present within this lens. I've got to say, this coating is not all about hype, and it performs exceptionally well. Though the function of this coating was said to be balanced and improved contrast, in addition to that, it also reduces ghosts and flares to some extent. For more information and latest price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it helpful. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below.